Yes. So I guess that when you start to read this contract, you start to realize that maybe you should change your charge. That happens to me when I start my business, because in Colombia we have like a lot of law firms, and the most of them, they give the consulting for free, and then the client to take the decision of, and that was like kind of a strategy to catch clients because we didn't get it. But with time that we start to getting more mature, we understand that the when we give me a second now, we start to see that our free time, um, it's important as equal that our work time. So if I have to read documents and I need to study a case, and then they will tell me that maybe they will find another attorney, I will waste my time. And then from the half of 2020, we take the decision for ask for money. We will, of course, that we can make the all the overview. We can overcheck, or we can check all the documents, and we can give them a concept, and that cost this. If they would take us, nice. But if they didn't take us, I don't will waste my time studying a case that maybe I never got it. And when I obviously I check the contract, and I was like, fuck, if I read this 1 year ago, I didn't lose a lot of time and a lot of effort for some clients that didn't take it. And then I need that is so important. I also the part when they mentioned about the cost of one contract, that was like 150 pounds, and was like, I need to give more value to my work. That give you a real perspective, and about how they give them to the value all their work and all the teamwork, and how they explain to the client, hey, I am not being the head, but always we have the head of the department. And I really like it. So tell me, what is the part that you believe that you will change in your law firm?
Okay, we're changing. We would start changing how we calculate our charges. This
Mhm.
is one part of it. Another thing that we're going to include in our service agreement is the taxation and the planning advice.
Mhm.
Because sometimes we're also assisting our customers in banking transactions and everything. So we should start including them. The other thing was this service agreement was including like a percentage stating that depending on the matter that the customer was hiring, if they are buying a good, they should give us like a percentage based on the knowledge of the person who would be assigned. Another thing that we have is that I have the cell phone that is related or associated to our law firm. So I know that I should start turning off my phone because we're telling them if you have an emergency, you can contact us at any time. But sometimes it's not an emergency, and they think that if it is a Saturday at midnight, I should answer the phone if they're asking things that are not related to what they are doing with us or um, are not an emergency. So this is
if you
something
let
that we
me
should
if
change.
you let me give you an advice, always that is in the contract that you make with your client. But also when they need you as an emergency, we had like a case a couple of months ago, like 2 months ago, and we need to establish that from the beginning. We take that case and was like a crime law, and they call us like at 8 at night. And from the beginning, it's like, yes, you want us? We can do this. If you want us, your time start to count now, because that means that I will stop to sleep to create all the trial that we need. And in rush, that trial was like 2 days before, and we need to study first, take the documents, study everything, getting prepared, and it's our responsibilities or goodwill. We will take it, of course, but that will cost you like 3 times. the money
Mhm.
that I will ask because of all these circumstances. And if you don't want to know, maybe I don't need it. I'm not the one that I am in troubles. You can call the lawyer.
I know that's
So
a
it's
difficult thing,
really
but this is
important.
something that all of us should be doing.
Yeah.
Another thing was when it was explaining the arrangements for paying charges, and I actually did like an arrow here. Oh, you cannot see it. Let's see.
No,
No, you
I'm so
cannot see it.
blind.
Okay, but it was telling if you don't pay an invoice, as a result, we make a claim by legal proceedings against you. You should, in all cases, pay us all and any further charges and expenses incurred during those proceedings, even if our claim is for less than £5,000. So I was, wow,
Yeah.
because what we're trying to work with 100% of the service being paid in advance.
Mhm.
But we know that based in the economy, this is not something that everyone can afford.
Yeah.
So we ask them about their profit, and we're making like a payment, a protection plan, in where we're working with 100% of expenses and a 50% retainer in legal fees.
Mhm.
But if some of them cannot afford the 100% of expenses, what we tell them is, for example, if we're charging you $200 for official translations and you don't have documents to be translated, we can deduct those $200 from the money that you would be paying today. And as soon as you obtain your documents, you should pay those $200. So this is something that we need to do. We're doing invoices, but we're not charging them like an interest rate at this time. This is something that we
Yeah.
need to start doing.
And that is per day. And I was like, wow. Because maybe we are so innocent, or I don't know. We are in this growing process. And when I studied, like, they maybe, like all of you, have different perspective, and of course that you want to do different things in the life, right? But when you want to be a consultant in our university, they didn't teach you this, and it's so important. This have to be a matter in the university. It's like, hey, you need to do this and that and blah 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 blah. And the economy, yeah, of course, is connected with all the world processes and how we can explore and use it for our profession. But we need like more in the reality. When I check this contract, it's like, we will work on this because it's really, really useful for change the politics, and especially for the people that is working on litigation or consulting process, can give us how the huge law firms do it.
The other thing was it was explaining that when they are receiving a fax or an email or a letter, that they would charge them 6 minutes
Yeah.
based in the hourly rate. So this is something that we should start doing.
I have clients that send me voice notes of 7 minutes,
Mhm.
and I have it, and I have to listen it. And when, even for me, when I start to read that, it's like, I am losing my life.
Yeah.
Listen some clients.
And last week
And
we had a situation last week because there was a customer who contacted me on July 2020, and he said, I would like to hire you, and I would like to tell you, well, I would like you to tell me what makes different your law firm to other law firms who handle immigration matters. So I started sending him emails and information, and then he said, I would like to book an appointment with you. And we were at the appointment, and he didn't show up. So that was the first thing that he did. Then he disappeared, and he said, in the next 2 months, I would send you an email. That week, he appeared, and he was like comparing our services to another law firm, and he wasn't. I don't know. I don't think he was aware that that was the place we used to work for. So he sent us an email from the other company, and I told him this is not something that you can do, because if we're not copied in the email, this is an illegal thing what you're doing, sharing emails between companies. So we need you to please stop doing that. Yesterday, he retained our services, and I was telling Jasmine, I think as if he sent us an email from the other company sharing all the information and the service description that they were offering him, maybe he did the same with the email that we sent him. So yesterday I told, because there was like um a service that he was requesting, and so we told him we charge $500 for that assistance, and he said $500, it's a lot of money for me, because I don't think the $500 is like an hour of your services, because I don't know, maybe probably you're not charging $500 for an hour. So I told him, well, but it's making us different from other law firms who are handling the same processes at immigration, is that we have the knowledge and we have the contacts and we know how to do it. It's up to you if you're willing to continue working with us or if you want to go away. Because, and I told him, we have been dealing with you during more than 6 months. I have been answering all of your phone calls, your emails, your messages, and everything. But it's up to you if you're willing to continue with us or if you're moving to another law firm. But what I would request you is to stop doing what you have been doing, that you have been sharing communication between companies, because this is not something that is good faith here in Costa Rica. So he said, no, I have decided since the beginning that I would retain your services and I'm ready to make the payment today. And we were, okay. And I was telling Jasmine, I didn't mean to be rude with him, because this is not like the way to do it. But he was driving me crazy, because every time that he says that I was on WhatsApp, he started calling me or sending me messages and everything, and that became like a kind of harassment.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Yes.
even free of work, because, and he
And
said,
for free. No way. Bye.
do you have 5 minutes? And then it was like a call of an hour, and then I told him I cannot continue talking with you during hours, because then my other colleagues would charge me for the hour of service that I should be charging you for. And
Yeah.
then at the end, he understood.
Yeah. So, Francela, I'm so grateful. I'm so happy that can give you a little bit of perspective and experience, and then maybe you can include a lot of this information in the new contracts that you create, and especially in the structure of your own company. And then you can maybe improve some processes or see the things that are you doing maybe from the other way and say like, hey, we should do this. And hopefully in a couple of months you can figure out how is better, if the way that you do it before or in this way. But it's important that we have in mind, especially that our time is so valuable and that we cannot change it for nothing. Okay, so I'm so happy that you like it. And if you have like any questions, my WhatsApp is open, and hopefully tomorrow we can discuss a little bit more like in group about it. And thank you so much for your time. I will see you tomorrow.
Do you have the survey? You didn't put it
Yes.
up?
Thank you. I forget. I completely forget it. Yeah, now it's on.
Uh,
I was like, oh yes, I finished. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
Gali.
much. I will
See
see
you
you tomorrow.
tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye bye. Laleska, hello. How
Hello.
are you?
Good, I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay, nice. Sorry that we started a little bit late, but take us like more minutes to connect to YouTube as always. And let me know if you have time to read the contract or to maybe read one part. What is your opinion? How was like important for you? What impacts you? What do you see that can be helpful for your life, like especially for your professional life? And yeah, I am open to listen on your experience.
Mm, Well, I read it, and from my opinion, I think it was well structured. It was like strategically made so that this particular law firm wouldn't face like um I don't say charges, but in the sense of that this law firm wouldn't take someone else blame on certain things. Like something that I particularly like are is this part where it says that they are not the ones to have responsibility if you consult with, like, if you yourself go to an accountant and the accountant gives you like bad info or things that are not accurate. They are not, you're not going to the law firm and being like, you are the one to blame. And it's like, wait, what? No, no, because I provide law services. I'm not an account. I'm not
Mhm.
a, I'm not like, I don't know, whatever you needed in that moment for like the case or whatnot. And that's something I like because it's a way, because it's so common. I think it's common, like from my point of view, I think it's common that they are like, they just all blame it on one person. They like, you should be managing everything I do, everything, every interaction I have, even outside of your control. It's under your responsibility. It was you. You were managing everything. Well, why is the accountant on you? You take responsibility of what the accountant did. It's your fault. I'm not gonna pay you. It's like, but that's not my fault. That's not
Mhm.
something I did. That's not something. That's not a service I provide. You contacted the accountant. Another thing I liked was that they know how much their time is valuable. Like they know, like every minute I spend with you, every like even the gasoline I use in my car to go and see you in your place is
I love
valuable.
it.
Like you like they know that every single, even talking to you, sending you an email, sending you a message, that takes time. They measure it in minutes, hours, instead of fees, well, fixed fees. But they know that every little thing it's money, because it is.
Yeah.
And
We
it's
were talking that we were talking about that with Francela because we work like in the consultant, and sometimes we saw like every client as an opportunity to catch the client, and maybe we should learn from these huge companies and learn how they do it. I was like so surprised at also. It's like, oh, Gali, you are making mistakes because sometimes I listen audios from 7 minutes because it's relevant for all the process, but maybe that is not included in the total, and we need to change that. So I am agree with you with that part. What other part was important for you that you see like, oh my God, I never think about it?
I think like I think one important part is that you know how much you value, how much you like are worth. But the other thing is that you like the contract constantly reinforces the idea to the client that you will be informed. You will like get like one-on-one contact with the person that is in charge of your thing. You will know everything. If you solicit it, like if we don't send it to you, you can solicit it at any time. Like it constantly tells you you're getting what you're paying for, that you're not
Mhm.
getting mediocre at work, that you are getting like, if you pay is because you're paying us for do this and this and that, we're doing this, we're doing anything past that, but we're not doing anything less than that, we're doing this, exactly this is what you're getting for what you're paying. We're gonna be there, we're not gonna neglect you as a client, doesn't matter what the issue is. And that's amazing, that's amazing, because as a client you give like, you have that security of, okay, what I'm paying might be a little bit like high price, but I'm getting what I'm paying for, and that's good. And as a company, you are like, this is what we're doing. Like if you come to us and be like, you should have done this, it's like, is this in the terms? Is this something I told you I was gonna do? Is this something you told me to do? No. So I don't assume things, I don't assume services, because then when I charge you those services, you're gonna be like, I never asked for this. Even if what's necessary, you will be like, oh, I never asked for this, so I shouldn't be charged for this. And you say like, no, but this is something that needs to be done. No, I never asked you for that. No, no, I'm not gonna pay it. And that happens. That happens very, very often, not only like in the legal world, but in general in a business. So from a business
Mhm.
point of view, I think the contract is really well structured actually. Not to only be appealing to the client that is signing it and giving you that sense of comfort, of calming, like you're working with professionals feeling, but also for the company to like protect themselves from whatever issues that might prompt the situation.
Okay, that is great. How do you think that you can take one of these paragraphs or clause um, that if you were working in consulting, tell me
Mhm.
how do you put all this information, like which part you can use from your professional life specifically?
Mm, I think specifically I will take the parts where they uh, say like sending emails, sending faxes, calls that counts as this amount of time, that counts at that amount of
Mhm.
money. Because it's normal that those things as emails, as calls that take time, or listening to audios or messages or replying things like that, people might give like think of them as a given, as something that you don't charge for, as something that,
Mhm.
oh, it takes no time. Why would you charge me for that? It takes no time to listen to me. It takes no time to you for you to go to my house to check my things. When it's in fact time, it's time, it's effort, it's people that are going to a certain place, it's gas, it's vehicles. I mean, it takes time and money. So I will like those little things that people might overview or not care for. I will be really, really clear that they also count as something I will charge for, so that they know and there's no
Okay.
issues about that.
Okay. And with some part of the contract you are not agree with?
I put something here. I have it here. It says, where is it? It says we try hard to avoid changing the people. We will notify you if we change the people. That's fine. Why the change was necessary, okay? But it also says, um, it says, pay all of our charges and expenses for the work we have completed, irrespective of who has undertaken the work for you or whether or not have been advised of the change of personnel. Which I think, as a client, I will be like, I mean, I understand the situation that there might be some change of people. I understand that you will notify me as promptly as you can. I know that the change was being made like for a necessity. I totally get that, because even as a point of view for my company, you're not going to change people and be like, yeah, you do you. No, I understand that. But as a client, I will be concerned that I will have to pay for charges and expenses of the work, even if they have changed the person, which is understandable, but even if they haven't tell me that they have changed the person, I will be kind of concerned if I am paying for the actions of someone that I didn't even knew was in charge of my case, and that they
Mhm.
didn't even bother to tell me that they were going to assign this person to my case. So I will be like kind of looking at this, kind of worried, kind of, if I could change it, I would be like, I want to be notified. Yes or yes. I don't like, I am, if it's necessary to change, it's fine. But I want to be notified. I want to know who is going to be in case of my case, and I want to know what this person is doing, because maybe the previous person had another taking on the case, had another way to see or solve whatever issue I had. But this person has another taking, and maybe this person has a way that is pricier or whatever, and I need to know that. I need to know what that person is like. I think I most people value at least to know the person, like not even knowing the personal deep level, but know it at least one to one. Like, you're gonna work in my case, I want to know you, at least meet you, at least know your face. I want to know. So that's something I
Okay,
will change.
perfect. Leska, I know that your level is so advanced. So I want to know if you figure out some expressions or some new words that you never saw before, and that can give me more or less a perspective about how manage this kind of documents, because I have like the two situations. It's you that are like really advanced, but in the other hand I have some girls that are recently starting the career, as you know it. So I need to balance this. I need to figure out how do you see this topic of about vocabulary. Do you think that is enough, that is giving you the information that you think that you need for your professional career? Are you seeing some new words, or was basic contract? Let me know that.
I definitely see new words. I see more complex words. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, if an issue, like if a paper was like took me 5 minutes before, this kind of papers take me like maybe 20 minutes. So you need to read it
Mm-hmm.
and think about it because it's more dense in
Yeah.
words, and like what it actually says, like what it means. Like you can read something and understand it, but do you really understand it? Yeah, you have to analyze things and whatever. So I think it's fine. I think it's fine even for my level. I think it's good. I think it's a good reading. It was quite long, but it's good.
Yes. But was boring?
It was
Your
not
attention?
boring.
Catch your attention?
I mean, it was not boring, but it obviously, a contract is very like punctual of things. Like you could read something and be like, oh, this is an obvious thing, but when you're in a contract and like writing a contract, there is no such a thing as an obvious thing. Everything
Yeah.
has to be written, even if it's obvious. So that kind of makes it, like, I guess for some people it might be boring, but when you analyze it, it's like, this is a real contract. Like in a contract you can be like, oh, this is given. No, you need to write it. So I think rather than find it boring, I appreciate how detailed it is.
Can you catch it from which country is that contract?
Didn't they say the UK? Because I
Yeah.
think they were using the England and Wales legislation, I think, in some parts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is great. You catch everything. Okay, thank you so much for your opinion. Before you leave, I will please ask you that you fill the survey.
I have it here.
And I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow we can discuss uh, in the first part of the class, and we can talk about this like in a group, like in a chat session. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for your time.
Bye.
Bye. Laura, hello, how are you?
Hello there. Fine. A little tired. You?
Yeah, kind of a little bit.
Had a lousy night.
Yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed this weekend,
Oh,
especially
cool.
because everybody told me like in a normal situation, my experience can be so different for all this carnival.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy it, even without alcohol and dancing, how has to be. But yeah, it was fine. I really enjoy it. What about you?
I don't like the idea of carnival, to be quite honest. I don't like to go out much. So staying here was kind of like what I do every year.
Oh,
I'm not a big fan of it. I know it's a big cultural thing, but I'm not very fond of it.
Spanish.
The part of the drinking and the accidents and all of that. The partying, I don't like to party, so
Okay, we are completely opposites.
oh my god.
Okay, how was the reading of this contract? Was
uh
so dense?
yeah,
What was your
yeah.
opinion?
I was a little no, I was I never seen a document so detailed and well written before.
Mhm.
It was like a change in that part, and for starters, I didn't know what solicitor meant, so I searched it. I didn't know it was a type of lawyer. From
Mhm.
that part on, it was like almost everything was so new for me.
Okay, so do you find a lot of new vocabulary, right?
Yeah, a lot of words that I learned today. I tried to study them, but it's like terms, like
Yeah.
phrases, and how it's written. It's wow. Yeah, I
Okay.
thought this must be a really expensive service, the one they are offering, because it's so well detailed and well put that, yeah.
Perfect. Let me know which part of this contract was the most relevant for you, that can like give you perspective if maybe one day you have your own consulting firm or whatever. Which part of this contract you can take in account for your own business?
I would like to say all of the all the contract
I will
actually.
copy and paste it.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much, because it just covers everything, everything
Mhm.
that could happen. The information that the clients will give to you for you to assist them. Um, whatever whatever happens, you get it covered. So it's yeah, I said, wow, I've never seen such a document. But I don't know if I can state a part that I would use or that I was especially affected by. I'm not quite sure of it. I found a little bit some things that I'm not that I'm a little bit worried about, or I have doubts. I don't know if we can discuss this tomorrow in class. I heard you were kind of saying that before.
Yeah.
Mm, because I felt I was looking at it from the point of view of the client. I don't know why. I never put myself in the place of the lawyer for some reason. So I was like, oh my God, how much is this gonna cost? Because so, if something else happens, we're gonna charge you extra for this. And I was like, oh my God, help.
Okay. I'm taking notes because we will talk about this tomorrow.
Okay.
Whatever the client. Perfect. So, are you agree with the way that they calculate their charges, or do you think that was quite I don't know,
Um,
maybe are wrong, something wrong with the way, because they are taking into account like minutes,
yeah,
like all the
yeah.
minutes. So, do you think that is quite crazy, or do you
That
think that
was
is fair?
that was something that really caught my attention when I was reading it, because I think that's what the big firms do. The big law firms
Mhm,
do that. I think I was
mhm.
working in one for a while, and they charged for hour to the clients. So
Yeah,
I thought this is I think that is standard. I think it's I thought to myself at that moment, this must be a pretty good firm, because they charge
yeah,
it like if you have 1 minute of their time, you already have to pay. So I said to myself, this better be good. If I'm the client and I'm paying for a minute, basically, this better be an excellent service. And I actually Googled the firm in internet, and I saw that it's like review as excellent. So I said, okay, that is why. But I think, and I'm not sure if it's like that in every country, probably it is, that the bigger firms charge like that per hour or
yeah,
per minute, for every little I don't remember. I just learned that word that you have to do, even if it is sending a letter or an email or whatever. It's already like a
yeah.
service, so they charge
Call
for it.
this like paperwork
Yeah, exactly.
that you
Yeah,
need to do. You need to make
yeah.
that the client pay. What other part you call you the attention or
Let's see.
call your attention?
I have a few notes here. Um, um, oh yeah, about the telephone inquiries. This is not a part of the contract per se. It's below, I think, almost at the end, when they talk about the confidential information that the clients are
Mhm.
given. They say if you want to discuss this per telephone, we are gonna make sure of your identity. And
Yeah,
I thought to myself, okay, I don't personally agree with that part, mainly because you can easily be fooled by someone over the phone. So how can you be 100% sure that you are talking to a person that is entitled to have that information? And I wasn't a little bit uneasy of that matter. I thought
Yeah.
they shouldn't be given telephone inquiries in the first place. Everything regarding information, confidential information, should be written. Like asking
Yeah.
for it with a letter or something, or maybe an email. I don't know, because it's delicate. It's important information. So that was a thing that I didn't like. And
Did
yeah,
you
I
read?
think
Sorry.
sorry.
Did you read the part about that if they saw a crime, like
Mhm.
in the money that are coming in or that you're putting out, they will
Yeah,
advise to the justice. Aren't
yeah.
you agree or are you against that?
No, I agree. Totally, I
Why?
agree. Because
Why?
as a lawyer, I know this is a little bit like a situation, a complicated situation for all of
Yeah,
us. Like,
sure.
at some point of your career, you're gonna have to maybe stand for
Mm-hmm.
someone that has committed a crime. But
Sure.
in this context, this may be like you compromise your reputation. You have a situation in your
Mm-hmm.
hands that it's regarding, I assume, a lot of money. So you cannot just ignore it. I think that it's a good policy, and that it's important that the clients know that you are not going to be like, how do you say, cómplice? I know that word. I just forget it when I'm talking.
One second.
Um,
Like that you know how is putting the crime, that you are related with the crime, that
yeah, like
you
you're
are
helping,
yeah, it's
like you're
like you are part
overseeing.
of it. That is the you are part, or maybe you are getting involved with the crime just because you know about it
Yeah,
and you didn't report it.
exactly. I think it would be a similar situation. I don't know if you saw Breaking Bad, the series.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you are the lawyer of Heisenberg. You're helping him laundering his money and everything. And it's like
Yeah.
maybe not that big a help, but you are overseeing it, and you are managing this person's business, this person's money, whatever it is you're helping or assessing them with. So yeah,
Mhm.
I think that's a good policy. I don't know if that's the popular opinion or whatever, but I personally agree.
Okay. Well, did you find some, or did you find some part that you are completely in disagree with?
Apart from the part of the telephone inquiries,
Yeah.
I think not. I think I wanted to ask you this. I don't know if I got this well. It's paragraph 28.3 when they talk
Let me
about
check. Let me check that I have here the contract. Which page?
okay, let me see a second. Must be 10 or 9 or 8 maybe.
Okay, got it. 7. No more. 6.
8.
20. Which
28.3 when it's talking about the termination of the contract.
one
I
second?
think
20.
I got it well. I thought that
I want to read it.
okay.
20. 20 what? 28?
28.3. Yeah. If you want to read it, please.
28.3. I
Yeah.
got 20.8, but I don't have nothing more. Give me the title.
Termination.
Give me a second. Yes, got it. 28.
Yeah.
I listened to you 20. Yeah.
Oh,
If you or we decide to terminate this contract, you must still pay your charges and expenses as agreed from the work then complete. Yeah, that was connected with the first part of the contract, if you remember it. And they told you like, this is our work. We have like 5 stages, right? If we made all the process, we will charge you, I don't know, 10,000 pounds.
yeah.
But if for some reason that I agreed, I take the decision, you do something wrong, whatever, I will charge you until the stage that I am stayed with, like maybe in the 3 one. But I don't will charge you in the way that we agreement before, like that is like complete.
Oh, okay.
I will
Cool.
charge you by hours, by the time that my teamwork is spent dealing with your case until this stage. right?
Okay, cool. Yeah,
That is the
I
thing that they want to say there.
the first time I read that part, I said, "Oh my God, they want to charge for the full work, even if the contract gets terminated before." But then I read it again, and I said, "No, no, I'm not understanding this well." So I got it for what you said. So that was like a little doubt that I had. But I think it's fair. The only part that I don't agree with is the part of the telephone inquiries. And yeah, I have a question. And at one part, I didn't put here the number of the paragraph or anything, but they are talking about that they can exchange information via email at some points, but they don't use encrypted email. So they are not going to take
Sorry.
liability.
I lose you like a bit. I listen until email.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm losing you.
They are going to exchange information via email, right? But they say at one point, if the information is
Maybe
hacked
my
or
phone.
third party enters to it and sees it or whatever, we are not going to take responsibility of that. So because we are not using encrypted email. At that point,
Okay, one
I thought,
second. Because, Laura, sorry. I
yeah,
listened the first part and I listened this last part because I have my phone close to the computer. Can you please
okay,
tell me again
yeah, okay,
that in one part, what about the encrypted messages? What?
yeah.
I didn't
I don't
understand the question.
know. I wonder why they are not using encrypted email for like a way to
Yeah.
increase the safety of the messages they are going to exchange with the clients. They just put it like that. We are not using encrypted email, and I don't know why. I had that doubt. I was a little bit worried
I
about that.
can I can explain you like by my little experience in the topic. When you use these encrypted systems, you get troubles when you work in team, when you have like a teamwork. Because even if you are using your login info,
Uh-huh.
like it's so personal, you have some passwords that is like using for me. But the most of the time, I will tell you what happens in my law firm. Even when the head of the process is X lawyer, we were at teamwork and we were working like four.
Okay.
And the most of the times when they use these encrypted messages, you cannot see what the client sent to him because you can't get access, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And if you are not here for some reason, all my teamwork is lost because they cannot work on it, right? So what they do in my case was we were connected by the emails of the law firm, and
Yeah.
then they make sure about the confidentiality by an oath that is like involved in all the emails. And even for us as a workers, we have in our law contracts, in our law labor contracts, we have like that we must respect all these agreements and we must respect all the information that are we checking. And then the huge clauses about the amount of money that we should to pay if we get troubles with that information that we have in our hands is so huge that then we can also think about it. We have like a really strong confidential process, but in my way the way that we do it was, first, it's expensive to get one encrypted systems, and second, if the most of the time the head of the process didn't work at all, they overview your work, they oversee your work, they put the head on trial, of course, but the paperwork and all the basis of the process is done for my teamwork, right? So yeah, the most of the times we have to send the messages to the client, and maybe the client always think that was my boss, but was our team, right? Because we are talking about the institutional account, right?
Yeah.
If we put just one email in contact, I need the password of my boss.
Yeah. It's
And then
complicated.
I have like, for example, three persons or three people are working in this case, in this specific case, but I just have access to this information because I am on that teamwork. But also my boss is overseeing other 100 of cases that if I have access to that personal information, even with it's an institutional email, I will be involved in a lot of cases that maybe I am involved with, like in a personal way. And that happens in the huge law firms because as you are talking about, I don't know how to say that, that don't sound like discrimination, but the access of information that you get is so important, and especially when you are related with financial stuff. Yeah. And if for some reason my family is getting involved or whatever situation, I don't know how to make responsible about the people that getting access to my email. Yeah. What time that I present my, when I send them the letter asking for quit my job, they they make the acceptance, like texting, and then 3 days, I have like 3 days for organizing all the cases in carpets, and then they kill my username. And never, before that, if I have like personal information, banks, accounts, I cannot use it anymore, and I lose all the information that I got there. How I get like a huge cloud space, I always put like some pictures, because I told you I do, or I told all of you that I do photography. And yeah, when I am quit, I just put everything, I download everything, and I make it clear, and then I am out, right? Yeah. But they have like a lot of they can identify which are working, who are working in this process, in this specific process. And we do it by the last name. González Vargas, who got it? Gali, Juanita, y Pepito. Perfect. Okay. Whatever that happens with that process, information, whatever that can involve is in our heads. But then if I start to work with the messages, I will change the process and change all the structure for answer that confidentiality, that we can use it just with a note in an email, right? Then also the about the calls that you told me that was like worried.
Yeah.
In Colombia, you get related with your client just by WhatsApp. That happens a lot of time. Yeah. And you maybe because of the matters that we get, was like, you know, that sometimes when we get like calls from jail,
yeah,
we're so sure that we're talking with our clients, right? Because of the knowledge of the questions. But I guess that is so related, or we can make like a comparison when you call a bank, that they ask you like, okay, give me your date of birth, give me your, and maybe they can control that. That was like, But I'm so sure that is because this law firm works with financial.
Yeah, it's
and pounds, and so it's like you're talking about hundreds and thousands of pounds. So the control needs to be different. But in real life, in our countries, I guess that is not so necessary, that even if you are managing a lot of capital.
Maybe I'm a little bit paranoid in this matter. Because it was so much information and I was imagining so much money that I said, oh my God, like I had it, don't touch my money.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time. And before you go, I will please ask you that you fill the survey.
Yeah, sure.
And I will see you tomorrow on our lesson.
Okay, cool. Okay. Take care, Gali. Thank you.
Yeah, you too. Thanks to you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Silvana.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? Sorry that I was getting lost because we start like minutes later with each, and when I start later with one, I am done with all.
Yes.
Okay, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Everything's fine?
Yeah, everything's fine.
Thank you. Okay, let me know, what was your experience with this contract? How do you find this information? Maybe so heavy or stressful or boring? Or what is your opinion?
It was a long contract, actually, a lot of clauses, a lot of topics, but it like it makes me feel like this law firm is very like compromised with what they're doing. That's why that much clauses. Also, I like when they start with their commitments, when they start with this letter of engagement, because it was also the way to show the clients that, okay, this is what we're doing. We have a relationship now. We're gonna be in anytime you need it, you need us. So that's why I I find this contract very interesting, actually, because of all the clauses. Also, the money laundering was one of my favorite parts, because they all start like, you have to prove everything. We're gonna do some questions about your identity, and also they
Are
put
you
like,
agree with that? Are you agree with the money laundry clause? Like, even I don't know if you connected with the other clause that was talking about if they figure out that it's a crime, they will put you on
yeah,
evidence. Do you
and
agree with that? Even if you are a lawyer?
it's like a balance, right? Between that secret that you have to hold with your client, and then this crime. I think that as lawyers, we know that everyone deserves to be, represented in courts. But also, if you wanna like combat these kind of crimes, we have this responsibility to do something. Also, like, have these authorities. Like this. Okay, these people is this money laundering, but also we're going to represent them anyway. So we start, or in the way that we know that these people, or we identify with these questionnaires that these people is doing this crime, we start doing, okay, so we're not going to represent you at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in the way that they do it in that contract is, we will check that all your funds are
Yeah,
good,
it's
and
a little
etc.
lighter. Yeah.
And then by the end is like, then it's like, oh, but in the process, so for me it's like that, because it's your professional secret. You can do that.
Yeah, I know that.
But then my
I
ethics
also
says
have that
like,
in
no, yes, you should do that.
Oh, I'm losing you. Yours. Can you hear me? I cannot hear you.
Hello.
I
cannot hear
right now.
you.
Can you hear me now?
No puedo. No te escucho. Te pierdo.
Your signal is
Hello?
in red, actually.
¿Me
Hello?
escuchas?
I hear you. Yo te escucho.
No.
Gali. Gali.
Oh no, se le murió a Gali y yo entré a tiempo. Qué mal.
¿Tú le escuchas? Yo no le escucho.
Sí le oía cuando te decía hola, hello, y te escucho a ti, pero no, a ella no, se empezó a cortar.
Sí, justo, ya se fue.
No. Qué mal. Ay, ¿será que se quedó sin internet o sin luz? Porque la vez pasada le pasó lo mismo.
Sí, yo estaba viendo su señal roja, esas rayitas al costado que estaban en rojo, por eso
o sea
estaba
que
como que Gali.
Si es como 911, me voy a caer, me voy a morir.
Sí.
Qué mal, si no. Me tocó darle chance y es que estoy en el trabajo escondida hablando por teléfono.
A ver, Gali.
Qué problema. ¿Y si te logró hacer el speaking call?
En realidad se ha demorado un poco, yo recién estaba como empezando un poco.
Ok. Sí, es que a mí me toca a las 5, entonces yo dije, me conecto 2 minutitos antes, por cualquier cosa. Pero ya vi que estamos teniendo problemas.
Sí.
Y voy a darle chance aquí contigo por mientras. Ah, yo creo que ya entró.
Ya, sí. Cali.
Hello. Vale, a la una.
I can't hear you now. No.
Ya está ahí, ya está ahí. Y ahorita reacciona. Me voy por mientras.
No les. Gali, I cannot hear you. Your microphone is off. Or not. No. Maybe if I call you by WhatsApp. Oh, no.
Now?
Oh, no. Yes, I can
Hello?
hear you now. Yes, yes.
The Zoom kicked me out. I was like, I'm again. And I guess that all the transmission is continue, hopefully.
Yeah.
So before Anna, we are having like late because we have like 10 minutes late. So no worries. If you want to stay here, no problems. And I will see you like in 10 minutes from now.
It's okay, don't worry.
Thank you so much. Okay, Silvana, we were talking about this money laundry stuff. So yeah, I was like, for me, it isn't clear. My balance is quite like the professional secret.
Yeah.
But we'll discuss that tomorrow. My idea is that we can discuss a little bit in our lesson. And of course that we will make the class as always. But before that, I want that we discuss this contract and then do it more dynamic. I want to know, because I know your advanced level, I want to know if all the new vocabulary was enough, or maybe you didn't find a lot of new words.
I found some of them. Some was and one of them was conveniencing. I actually understand the context in the tense of the clauses, but I wanted to know what exactly is before transaction. That's why I look for it.
Yeah.
Also, another word that I looked for was the sportsman or something like that, because I was trying to understand why in every part it was that word. That's why I looked for it. Okay, I'm gonna look for it just to know that I'm understanding well this contract. And it was like, okay, now I knew that it was something similar, but I wanted to know exactly what that means, and that's why I did it.
Are you agree with the way that they calculate all the charges, like with all the teamwork and etc.?
Yeah, it was incredible. Even in the part of hourly rate, they have this clause that says, even when you have an emergency or it's something urgent or you have to work in this unsocial hour or social time, I don't remember the term. It was incredible because we are lawyers, but we also have a life. So if you wanted to help you, of course we're gonna do it. We know the whole case, of course, but I mean, we have to increase that charge because I mean, we're not in the office, we're out, we're doing another thing or whatever.
Do you find the way that they calculate your minutes?
Oh, it was.
Yeah, like when you are doing like the paperwork, faxes and emails, that is like have like an average.
Yeah, it was incredible actually. With
it was like
minutes.
I am making a lot of mistakes with my life.
Yeah, I mean, the first time that I read this, like I did it very quickly, and I saw the numbers, and I said, okay, it's very well because our work has a value, right? And it's very like I don't know. We have a lot of things to do in maybe 8 hours, so we have to control everything. But in the way that we explain this to the client, maybe they're gonna feel like something is limited. Like, okay, you are telling me that you're gonna, if I send you like 3 or 4 emails per day, you're gonna do this and this and this. So it will be awesome if you clarify in person these kind of clauses, right? I will feel better for that. Also, when they put the estimates, it was amazing because, I mean, when you read this contract as a client, it's different for sure. And if you have this estimate of, um, I mean, like a base, a basic one, and then when you have additional charges, you also have an estimate. It's incredible because you can calculate your budget of where you're going to invest in this process or whatever you're doing. It was very interesting, and I think it's amazing to have these kind of clauses in your contract as a lawyer.
Do you think that you should like put like the specific cost of each review that maybe you need to see? Do you think that maybe the prices need to be more specific? Because I saw just a little parts when they talk about numbers, about the contracts, just little parts. But then about some parts I really found it isn't clear at all. Tell me how much money will cost me your opinion, your consulting about
Right.
1 hour or 2 hours or 3, or how. I know that they are giving the information to the client because, of course, this topic is client care protection contracts. But it isn't clear for me at all. Not everything. They are using
Yeah.
the benefit of doubt for the law firm, right? I was
Yeah.
like, they are really good lawyers.
They know how to negotiate, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they make you feel a lot of comfortable. Oh yes, I can, but
You're gonna be
by
there
the end
5
of the day, they
hours and
didn't tell
yeah.
me. Yeah.
Yes.
I need to learn. But they are giving me the information that will cost me.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
how
know.
much, but that will cost.
Yeah, at some point, giving you all this information since the beginning is awesome. Then you start like doing some other things and you maybe forget. And then
Yeah.
you stay there like, I don't know, 30 emails and 5 hours. Or you said, oh, I cannot go to, I don't know, they say they're in the UK or Cardiff or in Wales. I mean, I'm in Cardiff right now. Can you come here? I have to pay that. Oh, even
Yeah.
if,
Everything. The
yeah, I have
gas.
to pay everything. So you maybe forget in the moment that because if it's an urgency and you're in another city and you need this, I mean, you need this, the lawyer beside you to talk about, I don't know, whatever. And well, you have to pay all that. All that.
Yeah.
So it's,
So we were talking with Francella by the beginning of these speaking calls that we never studied this at the university.
no.
And it's so useful to understand. This cost me years. Learn how to manage clients, how to balance the thing that if I give you like the first consulting for free, then maybe I can catch you. But then it's like a really bad strategy because you are playing with your own time. So it's better sometimes have less clients, but that your time worth it.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, oh,
Or in the way that you maybe have this law firm with a lot of, I mean, a lot of topics like crime, like family. I mean, if you want to do it well, maybe you should specialize your law firm first and then see if you can expand.
yeah,
That's
perfect.
why.
Yeah. Okay, so in general terms, you understand like everything was quite long, I know.
Yes.
But do you think that the level is enough for you?
Yeah,
Like,
I learned actually how to manage these kind of clauses. Of course, also with the protection of data is right now everybody is trying to put this on their contracts, because now it's more specific that you can like sue someone or some company for that information that is in some place that you don't want to, right?
Yeah.
That's why I
Okay.
find it very interesting. And I know that this country is gonna help me in my career.
Music for my ears.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I really like that because it's the idea. I will see you tomorrow, and we will discuss it. And tomorrow, by the end of our lesson, we will discuss, because of course that we get different points of view, and it's now results necessary that you start to sharing ideas and to listen each other. That is the plan, not just listen to me.
Mhm.
So tomorrow we will do like the first, it's not debate, but we will have like our first group of conversation by the beginning, and then we will discuss other client care proceedings that is used in other countries.
Okay.
Because this is, I don't know, I'm so sure that you've checked it, but it's UK,
Yeah,
right?
it's UK. Yeah, I also in the first page you see the city, so it's UK. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And I will see you tomorrow. Before you go, please fill the survey, and we
I
are done.
I feel it
Okay,
when I enter.
thank you.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you so much. Thanks to you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Anna, hello. Sorry that we take a little bit more time, but we are having troubles. Oh, are you
It's
in your
okay.
office?
I'm at the office, yes.
Oh my gosh. How is everything going there with the coronavirus?
It's crazy.
Yeah?
I'm barely handling. I'm
Oh
kind
my
of
God.
tired right now.
Yeah, no worries. Hopefully you can manage this, and please be careful with all the contact.
Yes.
But do you
Yes.
have like customer service, or are you in your office with just your colleagues?
I'm right here with my boss. I have
Okay.
two bosses. So I'm here with my two bosses, and we have customer service outside. So
Okay.
they are in the front row, so we have to be really careful with them. But that job is like 70% more than before coronavirus, so it's kind of hard to handle it.
Mm, yes,
So
I
I'm
can
alone in the
imagine.
office right now. Everybody's gone.
Yeah, I can imagine. So let me know, do you have time for read all the contract, or just a part?
Of course,
Tell
I
me, how do you
have
do
it.
it?
Yes, it was really interesting.
Yeah, do you like it?
Yes, I never saw one before,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Yeah, it's
start
like the
reading
general.
it. Yes, and I was like, okay, maybe something is good, and I was really hopeful about it. But then at the ending, when I started watching about the money laundering situations and the policy changes that they can do, it was like, hmm, maybe
Lawyers.
we have something, I don't know, maybe a little spooky out there, but it was really, really interesting. In fact, I have a person, well, my best friend works in a conglomerate. She works at Deloitte.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked her if they have these kind of things there, and she told me that yes, and that it's really common. And she offers me to send me like a project, like where they go when they start a contract. So it's kind of interesting for me right now.
Yeah. And what about the vocabulary? Did you find a lot of troubles with it? Maybe so complex, or did you learn but not so
I
complex?
learned, well, we have like a base with you from
Mm-hmm.
everything that we learned, but liability for
Mm-hmm.
me, yeah, I know what that means, but I never really see that applied in a contract. So it was awesome. And
Mm-hmm.
the word deeds.
Okay.
and that's what is that? So I just searched it, and I was like, okay.
Okay,
But
are you agree with the way that they charge all the proceedings? Like, what is your opinion about it?
at first, it was like, okay, they are being really transparent about it. What are they gonna do? What are their obligations? The obligations of every part. So I was like, okay, we're going good. But when I get to the part of the money laundering
One second,
solutions,
give me a second, Anna. Hello, Maria. We are having a little trouble. We will start in 10 minutes. If you want to stay in the trouble, if you want to leave and go back in 10 minutes, would be awesome because we have a little delay. So it's on you. Okay?
Okay, that's okay. Okay, don't worry.
Okay, thank you so much. So Maria, sorry. So Anna, Maria, she was
okay,
telling me about the money laundering,
yes.
right?
And then I was like, okay, I don't know if that's good, but when I get to the data protection part and I analyze that with the professional secret, and I was like, okay, maybe it's not good at all. And
Yeah.
just when you have all the requests that they ask to the part with the IDs and their accounts and all that stuff, and at last you see the policy changes and stuff, I think it's really dangerous
Yeah.
because it's like a really wide entrance and out of information that could happen. And I think they are, I don't know, it's kind of risky.
Mm-hmm.
um and all the I just write it right here, the arrangements about the charges, and that they can keep the money of the person if they don't think that she can pay, or I don't know. All that stuff for me was like odd, because in Costa Rica that doesn't happen that way. So I found it interesting because it's kind of, I don't know, retention of something that doesn't belong to them. And I was like, okay, that's new for me. And
Why? Why do you not agree with that part?
I mean, I know that they have to pay for the job. That's 100% thing that can happen. But, and I understand that in that country it works that way. But for me, what's up, because in Costa Rica, the money is managed by the courts, you know? So
Yeah.
when you have the money, it's like, okay, maybe this part is for personal costs and moral damage and all the stuff that belongs to the the actor in the process. And for the other side, we have how do you say procesal?
A processal part. This
Okay, the
proceeding, you can
processal
also
the
say.
processal cost, and you pay.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're talking about como las costas.
las costas procesales, sí.
Okay.
And
So you will talk about the cost of all proceedings, of all the procedural.
voy a
Procedural.
apuntarlo
Tranquilo.
porque eso quería aprenderlo. Okay. So, and we split the part. So for me, that they can freeze the money of the part, and it was like, okay. And I never thought, honestly, that a law firm can have that power on a customer. I don't know if I get it wrong, but when I read it, I was like, okay, that's kind of odd for me, but
Okay. Okay, in Colombia works quite different because like the contract that we made with the client works like a document that you can be asked to the court that managed, that they can make the all the legal proceedings for make that the client pays you, even with the money that becomes or that belongs to the process. But the only thing that you need to show to the court is like your work is done. For example, with
Okay.
dates. We signed this contract in the 2nd of February of 2021. And now I'm here in front of you, Judge, today, 17th of February of this year. And as you can see, this was like all the process that I should to take. I do the sue, I present it, I take my witnesses, I do all the affidavits, I fill it out, all my responsibilities, and now I can't continue having contact with my client because she is so rude and so annoying, and we cannot continue working anymore because she doesn't respect my free time. She now is very aggressive with me. So please, I ask you that until now, with all the information that I am showing you, with all my process, you please judge that from the money that will comes from this case, you pay my all my money, and then after that I will send you like my letter telling that I quit to all the money that I should take for the work that need to be done after me. And now my client is free to be or make business with the next lawyer. But until they didn't pay to me, I can act with that contract commercial tool. You know what you know what I mean?
Yes, I got it. Oh, wow. Yes, is we have something here that
It's
when
like
the
a title value.
yes,
Mhm.
yes, so interesting. I never thought of that. For me, it was
Yeah.
really new, and I was like, okay, let me check, let me research something because we have, I don't know, we have that form to pay, and we have something that we call incidente de cobro de honorarios,
Mm-hmm. It's like a
and that
little process.
yes, that you present when there's something wrong with the payment, but that thing in a commercial way, you can say it that way. We didn't have that, so it was like, okay, that's amazing, and I think that's a good way to to make the relationship work because sometimes the people just disappeared and the course are really slow working on that way, so maybe that's a good choice.
Yeah, okay. If you have the opportunity to work as a consultant or to get your own law firm, which part of this contract do you take account for put it in your own company?
Well, I maybe the transparency ones, the data protection ones, I think they're really important. Uh, the taxes ones, the terminations, the charges, and the arrangements. I I want I even found one really interesting. That was the future instructions.
Mhm.
Like maybe something can change in the future, so we are able to change something on the contract just for the benefit of the benefits, sorry, of the parts. And I thought it was really interesting, and I already
And that happens so frequently because
yes,
maybe when the process is going on, you figure out that maybe one part that you check it out so easy, maybe you get wrong, and now will be taking so long or more time, more effort, more people for working on it. So that is what is rejected this clause because, of course, that the contract is doing by a lawyer, and we know that we cannot work without reality. We work
Yes.
the most of the times with the expectations that we can get a final result of a contract, but we are never sure. There's no way that we can be sure about something because it depends of everything that be around of that relationship or that contract relationship or that business, right? So I guess that is a really important part for analyze that if you are getting involved in that contract or in that businesses, you are getting involved and you are taking so long or you are taking more time, more effort, whatever, you always have time to adjust all these issues.
Yes. Because I don't know, I think that for me that was the more interesting part because the process are always in movement and sometimes they can be up, they can be suspended, or we have to start all over or something like that. And
Mhm.
it's really important to have that clause because
Okay.
is I don't know, we in this profession we don't have anything for granted.
Yeah.
Just that the courts exist and we have to move forward with that. And I thought that okay, that's something that the lawyers can have to move around and work with a little bit of liberty in the
Freedom.
process. Yes.
Freedom. Okay, perfect. And I will see you tomorrow in our lesson. Before you go, I will please ask you that you fill the survey.
I think I
And
did it.
okay, you did? Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you so much. And I will see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, Kali.
Okay,
Take
bye
care.
bye. Thank you. You
Bye.
too. Maria, buenas noches. Hola.
Bye.
Sorry that we are getting late, but it's because from the beginning we had troubles, my internet died or whatever. More excuses. Put your excuses here. But now we will start. So I want to please, you told me, what is your opinion about the contract? What was the part that you find like more interesting, more important for your experience and for your professional life? What is the most valuable thing that you can check in this contract? And then we will start to doing some questions and kind of conversation as always.
Okay. First of all, I think this contract is really complete. More than a contract, I think it's something that the solicitors, sorry, it was the solicitors regulation authority asked for.
Solicitors?
I'm so sorry. Yeah,
No
solicitors
worries.
of regulation authority asked for. So I think it's something like they needed to do. I'm not very sure if it's, well, it seems like a contract, but it's something that they asked for. I find very interesting that they put something like explain how, oh no, sorry. It's like communicate with the clients with a very understandable language, not a very
Mm-hmm.
legal, here says good quality advice with a personal service. No, sorry, where is it? Well, that's the main idea that I want to express. It's like I felt this was really interesting because sometimes as a lawyer you can, or when you are talking with another lawyer, you can explain it in legal language, and that's something that maybe you like and there makes sense for you. But when you are with your client or any other person that wants to know about the topic, sometimes it's not like that, and you need to communicate, you need them to understand, because you could be talking in a very legal language, very respectful language, but they don't get it, and they need to understand the idea that you are talking about. So I think that's really important, and that's something that we actually forget a lot, and we need to remember every time, because when we are talking with another people that they don't know nothing about law, we don't need to pretend that we are going to teach them 6 years of career. They are going to understand that in 30 minutes or 15 minutes. We need to be very specific. That is going to help them, because we are here to fix the problems, find a solution. And I think that it was really important. The other important thing it was about the rate. Some of them, well, it depends on the cases, but they put something like hourly rate, fixed fee, litigation for every litigation. I think hourly rate, it was about the case. It depends on the case, in how many time you spent on that case. Fixed fee, it's something very usual on us. It's something that the lawyers always do. Sorry. For example, when you are like making a contract, that's the duty. Obviously, you asked for, what was the name? Agree. You ask for an agree fee in advance. You need something, and then, for example, 50% at the beginning and 50% when we end. And also the hourly rate, and well, litigation, and also it was about percentage. I found something like that too. That's very common also. For example, I see here, well, I don't know if in other countries happen this, but for example, in Peru is very usual. It's not allowed, but it's usual that happens in some family cases. For example, when you are asking for pensión, it is not rate, or it is pensión de alimentos.
Como una pensión de alimentos.
Ajá.
We were talking like for when you are talking about, esto tiene, espérame. Y cuando estamos hablando de te la debo.
Ok, no hay problema.
Pero podríamos decir, espérame, vamos a googlearlo de una vez, porque me has corchado. Muero. Pero aquí vamos a aprender juntas. Food quota can
Food
be
quota.
one kind of way. Yeah, but let me see. I'm opening other link. Child support.
Child support. I think
and
that's more formal. That sounds really
yeah.
good.
And what other option we have here? The food fee.
Food fee. Yeah, that sounds really good also. Yeah, for example, when we are talking about a food fee or child's I forgot that. I will stay with a food fee. Well, when we are talking about
so it's easier
here in Peru, it's not allowed that you. That's okay. It's not allowed that you earn part of it. For example, okay, you are the lawyer and you win the case, and you said it to the mother or to the father, okay, you don't have nothing to pay me right now, that's okay, but when you have the first fee, that's going to be mine, or the two first fees, those are going to be mine. That's so not allowed. That's not allowed, but it's really common. It's really common. That's something that it's like not allowed, but it's common. But also there is another common stuff like that are allowed. For example, when you sell a house and you are doing the contract of the house, I don't know, something like that. What more? Well, then also they talk about good quality legal advice with a personal service at a fair cost. That sounds really good. But well, yeah, obviously the cost is going to depend in the case. Every case is a different world. So they talk also about confidential. That's something really good.
Did you check the part of money laundry?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries. It's one part that they say basically, because I need that you think about did, because we will discuss this tomorrow before
Mhm.
start our lesson. But basically they say like, oh yeah, we have like the confidential stuff. We will respect all the rights of our clients and thus. And then by one part of one clause, they say like, okay, if we detect within all our analysis, we detect that our client is getting involved in some laundry money process, we will to tell to the justice, right? Because it's a
Wow.
crime and etc. So I want that you made your opinion for tomorrow and tell me one time that you start the process with your client and you are the lawyer of the client, do you think that is allowed that if you saw something that is a crime to put it on evidence, yes and no, and we will discuss it for tomorrow? Because it's really difficult. They talk about confidentiality in one part, and then in the other part they say like, oh, but if we figure out, but now it's your client. So for me,
Yes, that's it.
like, yeah, for me, I am like so clear, but by the question that I have been doing in these speaking calls, I know that we have like different opinions, and that is the idea tomorrow, that we cannot debate, but we can discuss
Mhm.
and talk about it. And the idea is also that you can have conversation between you, not just with me. So the first part of the lesson of tomorrow will be about that.
Okay.
And now let me know which part of this contract is not completely clear for you, and maybe if you have some questions, I am here for answer them.
Mm, uh, I don't know if it's not really clear. Maybe it's not like that. Mm, it's like a critic or something like that. I know this phrase about good quality legal service with a personal service at a fair cost sounds really good. Um, but you know what? A fair cost, that doesn't say me nothing at all. Doesn't tell me nothing at all. It's like a
Yeah,
fair cost, but what's a fair cost? So, for example, inside of fair cost, I would probably
yeah.
prefer some like,
Price.
yeah, like rates, or some rates. They could change, obviously. Every case is
Yeah.
very different, but like, I don't know. It's like they could put
You think that it's so ambiguous? Because I feel
yes,
it like that.
yes.
I
So
have the information, but not really.
it's, for example, when you are trying to buy something on Instagram and you have really good pictures, and then you try to figure out the price, and you just can't. And they say to you, DM, just
Yeah.
write me and I will tell you the price. So I don't like that. And also, fair cost could be any host.
Yeah. And depending of, and especially in your profession, maybe for me, make a suit it costs $100, and maybe for you costs $500 because it's the value that you are giving to your time, and that is
Mhm.
completely personal. And now when you are making like teamwork, I can say that my teamwork works costs $500 per hour, but then
Mm.
other law firms tell 1,000, and then the
Mhm.
client never got like the real information. But this client care proceeding, or this client care contract, is like most a general one, because then the other, when you make the contract about the labor, you will have like more specific categories, because then we will talk about if it's a family process, labor process, criminal, and then like all the stages of all the steps for the proceeding. And then maybe you can put more information about the money that you will get for your work.
Mhm.
But in this case, I guess it's quite ambiguous, but it's also it's good redacted, because are giving you the general information about the changes that can happen in the contract, then are giving you the real perspective that how this kind of policies works in UK. That is the example that we take. But we never have contact with one of these in our universities. So
Mhm.
I get the same for you and for the most of us, or maybe yes. It's the first time that I'm just seeing how they inform to the clients before getting a businesses with them. So for me, for example, it makes me think so much about how I managed my time and how I'm making that my money, my time be reflected in my money, right? Because sometimes I have like voice notes from 7 minutes from some clients, and I take in like part of the process, but maybe no. It makes me think like, Gali. So I hope that you find something that be valuable for you and for your professional career, and all the topics that you find like can be a topic of discuss, we will figure out tomorrow night. Okay. Thank you so much for your time. And before you leave, I will please ask you that you fill the survey.
Okay.
And I will see you tomorrow. Thanks to you.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See you. Daisy, sorry, we're getting late because we had troubles with internet and etc. So sorry for come late. Tell me, how was your experience with this contract? Was easy or maybe not so easy? Was complicated, boring? What is your opinion?
Well, in first place, I really didn't know that sorry.
No worries.
In the first place, I didn't know that I had to read this because I haven't seen the message.
Okay.
And yeah, and few minutes later ago, Crisia told me, almost is your time. Have you read the document? And I was, what document? But I read a little, and first I thought that it was a contract between a lawyer and a client, and I thought that it was a contract that the client had to know before the contract the lawyer. But then I think that is about a contract between many lawyers in a company, I think, and they
No.
have it's not
No.
about
I
that.
will explain you, and I really love that you be so honest, because even for me, when I just like in a personal experience, when I didn't have time for do something because maybe life don't give me time, I was like exposed, and it's like, oh yes, I'd read it and blah blah. But then why? If you didn't have time, or if I didn't understand, it's like, to being so honest in my life, it's like the most valuable thing. And it's like, I like when one student tell me, hey, I didn't have time to read it, or I didn't understand, was completely boring. So yeah. So if you didn't read it, no worries.
I read
Or
some
maybe,
parts,
yeah,
the first
if you read,
paragraph, but I
yeah, no worries.
understand that it was about a contract between a lawyers and a company in the company, because I read about responsibilities about the
Yeah.
company, and that if the lawyer isn't in the place or in the office, the person of the company can call, and the secretary can give not an advice, but assistant or something
Yeah,
like that.
assistant.
So, and in my mind, I had an idea that it was a company and lawyers.
Yes, no worries. So I will explain you a little bit. This is one part of our course that will consist in see how we can make the protection to our clients, or the clients' care contracts or proceedings, right? So how we can do like the best service that we can with our clients that comes to our law firms or for consulting, etc. This contract is one example made in UK that show you how the client gets this first contract as a general information, that how will be that relationship. When you start to see this contract, you will find a lot of clauses that talk about, Karen, good night. Sorry, we have been late. So if you want, you can connect in 10 minutes, or if you want, you can stay here, no problem at all, but give us 10 minutes more. Thank you so much. So Daisy, that is the plan, right? That you can figure out the clauses and how they manage it, because at the university, we never are getting involved with these kind of topics. Es como este tema de servicio al cliente para los abogados, nunca lo vemos específicamente en la carrera, pero está estipulado dentro de este taller. Entonces, dentro de las cláusulas está muy claro cómo se maneja los honorarios, no sé, los acuerdos de confidencialidad, el tema de los problemas que puedan existir entre nosotros en temas dinerarios, los intereses, la mora en el pago. Son muchas circunstancias, pero que te van a permitir a ti. But if you start to reading it, you will start to catch a lot of new vocabulary and expressions that will be so useful for your language and for develop your language. So now I know that you didn't finish it for today, but tomorrow, by the end of the lesson, we will discuss a little bit about some controversial stuff in this matter. So you can read a little bit more, or maybe do some questions. And tomorrow we can answer you. Maybe we can help you, because I know that are you in this learning process. So no worries at all. Do you find it so long?
How?
Do you find it so long? ¿Lo encontraste muy largo?
Yeah, when I thought that that the page 15 pages, I see, oh my God, it's so much. And I just read the 1, 2, or 3 pages.
Okay. What other part did you read? Let me know. What other part did you read?
The first part, the part that I understand that it was a contract between the client and lawyer before contract the lawyer. And now I know that I wasn't too lost in this part because, and also I just write a little bit, but just about the first part, that the client care contract is for knowing of the client about the procedures, regulation, and the terms of the law. For the client know the law before they start the case. I mean, I thought that it was like the client had to know the law, how the law works, and then decide to contract the law. I mean,
the lawyer.
The lawyer, sorry, the lawyer.
Or the lawyer, no worries, or the lawyer services.
Yeah, something like that. And then I just read the part, the confiability, that the lawyer hasn't to talk this case with any other people or with someone else, because the confiability is so important.
Yeah, and the trust.
Yeah, the trust. And no, just some parts that I read, and I just remember because I read these little pages so quickly.
Yeah, no worries at all. No worries. So do you think that it's so important having clear some I will let you know some part of the contract by telling you, and then we can discuss a little bit. In what part of the contract you will find that they say like, hey, my time as a lawyer and the time of my teamwork is so important. So every time that you need a consulting, answer an email, answer a call by us, we will charge you money, right? So if I have to send you an email, that will cost you 6 minutes of my time. And then we can do it like by hours, and that will cost you when I send you the invoice. The invoice significa como la factura para el pago, para que lo tengas ahí otra palabrita. Entonces, básicamente ellos proponen eso. ¿Tú qué opinas? ¿Tú crees que está bien que un abogado cobre sus honorarios por minuto? What is
I don't
your
know.
opinion?
Maybe, I don't know. No, maybe not. For me, maybe the correct form is for hours, not for minutes, because well, but I think is depending of the situation, because if you go to talk with the
Depends.
lawyer,
Depends
and
of the situation.
yes, depends of the situation, because if you go to the office to talk with the lawyer and ask something or for solve some doubt, and you just wait 15 minutes, I think that these minutes will be accumulated for the another meeting where you use, I don't know, maybe another 15 minutes, and then will be 30 minutes. And
Mhm.
it's not a hour complete, but then in the future meetings can complete the meeting and the hours, and then um no, sorry, and then the client can pay the lawyer the hours, the complete hours, not the minutes, because I don't know, I think is maybe the client don't have the enough money to pay minute for minute, because um, my mom passed and my mom and I passed for a process with lawyer, and it was a private lawyer, and the lawyer, my mom paid him for minutes, but then we have to get a public lawyer because it was too expensive paying minute and minute.
Perfect. ¿Tú crees que está bien, or do you believe that is correct that you charge all this money to your client, like with something that is not professional, like maybe answer a consulting about other thing, or maybe about a fax or an email that is not the bottom of the topic, that is just something related?
Um, Maybe not, because it's just a question. It's just little things that maybe my client, I don't know, but I am giving them my service, but it is something that, if my client, I don't know, I am in my obligation to tell the thing that he don't know, that they don't know, but without getting money for that, because they are they are paying me, I mean, for win the case, for carry a case, but in the process, during the process, they will have some questions, and I am in my, not obligation, but well, yes, maybe my obligation to tell and solve the question of my client, because it's my client.
Okay, Daisy, I will change the case. What happens if you have a really annoying client? Do you know what means annoying?
Yes.
Okay. What happens if she or he calls you every day, 5 minutes, every day? Do you change your mind? Maybe you should charge a little bit of money.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe, because
So,
the client can, I don't know, write the questions, and when he have many questions, call and ask all the questions in the same call, not a question per call.
okay. So, you didn't think that answer them all their questions or topics is not being against your free time or for your time for other processes or
Maybe I
proceeding?
can, yeah, maybe I can give a schedule for he can call me, maybe then since 3 to 5 p.m. I am in my free time. You can call me 2 times. I mean, give them a schedule, so avoid then call me every time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that is a good solution, because even for me, okay, when you read the contract, you will figure out that they charge like all the time for the call and etc. And I realized that for my clients, I am, for example, answer their voice notes or listen to voice notes and takes me sometimes 7 minutes. And I do it because it's my client and I'm related with that. And I am in charge of that process, of course, that I need to listen what they have to tell me. But I think about it and it's like, maybe I'm making a mistake because they start to be an annoyance sometimes. And I don't have how control it because I never told them that. But it's something that you're learning with time and with practice. And of course, it's different if you are working in a huge law firm and then other that is quite little. So that is so important that you focus your attention when you read again the document in that part, and in other part that is about the confidential stuff and ways of termination of the contract. We will discuss that parts and others in our lesson of tomorrow, right? Then other thing that I guess that start by the beginning of the contract, let me see that I will open it for figure out until what page did you read it. Did you find the meaning of LLP?
Yes, I thought that it was a company. I don't know
Yeah,
what it
yeah,
was.
that is
Yeah.
that is general for all the commercial stuff. In Colombia we call it SAS. Es como
How?
una SAS, una figura societaria. Es como sociedad de acciones simplificadas. But now in English we got it also, the LLP. What more we can talk about in that 3 pages? Let me see. Did you read until the third one, like about the responsibilities, or until the second one?
Not just the second one. The
Okay.
last part. I think the last part.
Okay. And did you find the part when they say that they will talk with their clients in a basic language, like not in a law language or a judicial language, that they will make that be easy for the client to understand what is happening? What is your
Yeah.
opinion about that? Do you think that is good?
Yes, because maybe, for example, maybe the client can't understand very well what is happening during the process, well, the process in the case. So the lawyer give them an answer, but so technically the vocabulary. So technically, the client won't understand, won't get it, what is happening or what the lawyer is saying, because I mean they are talking like two different languages, so they can get a good communication and understand very well.
But you didn't think that that is obvious? Because of course that if the people needs a lawyer, it's because they didn't understand what is happening with their lives and have troubles. So do you didn't think that it's obvious that you need to explain to your client easy? Or do you think that it's necessary that being in a contract?
No, I think it is obvious. For me, I mean, I won't ever think about that this will be in a contract, because it's like obvious, it's like normal, the a normal thing that you have to do, because it's like to talk with a child, if the client don't know the words that you are using and the meaning, won't understand what you want to say.
Okay, for me it's also obvious But we will
Yeah.
figure out tomorrow if we are thinking the same. So before you go, Daisy, please, I will ask you that you fill the survey.
Yeah, I did it.
Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay. Vanessa. Hello.
Hello, teacher. Good evening.
How are you? I hope that everything
I'm
is
fine,
good.
thank
I
you.
will please ask you 2 minutes because I need to go to make pee, and then I will go back with my mind clear for talk about this contract.
Okay, don't
Give me
worry.
a second. I am coming.
No, there is no problem. I'm going to wait.
Hello, hello.
Hello,
Yes.
teacher.
I am other person because you know that I am all time drinking something.
Yes,
Uh,
it's necessary because it's freezing out. So,
yeah. So how are you?
hi, teacher, and thank you in advance for the kitten sounds. I think I have a new friend in home, so she's a little bit crazy. So sometimes it's making a lot, lots of noises. So I'm so sorry in advance.
No, no worries at all. It sounds nice. Okay. So do you have time for read all the contract or maybe just one part? What is your opinion about it?
I think I read everything, but it was a lot of information. So, well, I just read it once. So, but it was really interesting.
Okay. What is your opinion? Like, what is your
Well,
favorite part, most important part?
well, I think it was it's going to be really useful because, well, I don't know lots of lawyers who make kind of contract as completely as this. Well, here I can watch all the things that is necessary to make a point, to, I don't know, to explain something that sometimes is not totally understood by the client. So I think it's complete, is really completed, and also could be well, a little bit hard to understand for someone who is not a lawyer, because they are talking about lots of little things that is like an important aspect, but it is not going to feel like an important thing by other kind of professional, for example.
Okay. Tell me what was your favorite part in the order that you can use it like by in the future, or maybe when you become a consultant or you create your own law firm. Tell me what is the part that you are so sure that you will include in your client care proceedings or client care contracts.
Well, I think the number 9, because, well, we can find an important aspect who say, what is your responsibility and our responsibility? So for me, it's really important to make something clear situation. For example, you have the obligation to make us know all the things that could involve your case. So all the information that is really important in your case, you have to take that out. So I think that is something really important. And well, also, I don't know how to say peritaje.
In which context? Because obviously depends what you want to say before and after, and then we can use like other word. What do you want to say?
Well, that they are going to need some professional in other aspects.
Okay,
For
perfect. You can say
example,
like,
engineer, something like this.
yeah, you can say like, we can have a couple of witnesses, que son testigos, but also we can have a consent by an expert or do an expertise, que es como hacer un peritaje o hacer un peritazgo, right?
Okay.
So do an expertise, have the concept of an expert, or take a witness in our trial, right?
Well, I think that is really important. And other thing that I read in number 9 was that all the process have a cost. For example, make calls have a cost, sending some letters have a cost. So you don't have to make a lot of procedures,
proceedings.
Well, that is not really necessary to do the case. So, well, it's important to taking care about that because, well, mails, answering mails, well, asking for something or for other thing or for another opinion in the same office in the same office. So I think it is going to be it's going to be necessary because most of people don't know how important is time in our life. So if we are a professional, we have time. We don't have time for some things, and we have to be clear about that.
Yeah, that for me was so useful to see it because, as I told you, I guess that you listen what I say to your partner, was sometimes we didn't realize it, and sometimes we create that is like a good service for our clients, but really no, we are sacrificing all our time and our life, and for free we need to balance that. And I will answer your questions, but of course that has a cost because I study for that.
Exactly. So I think it's important to, as a professional, know how important is our work. So maybe sometimes, well, I know the case, maybe not all the time in lawyers, but maybe could be some work like an artist when people are asking to change everything. So every change have a cost. Every move have a cost because it is my time and I am professional. I was studying for this. I am still studying for being better. So I think all that time when we were studying is like an inversion. So it's really important. So most of clients don't have a lot of understood about that. So they think, well, I am their lawyer, so they think they can call me whatever they want, and that is not the reality. So they have some hours when we can ask some things, or we can make another date to asking everything in once and not calling every day asking something different. I think.
Perfect. Do you think that is quite extreme that you balance your time in minutes? That you say, okay, this call or this email will be like related, or will be like chargeable to your account, and every email that I will answer, that will be related to, like, the average will be 6 minutes, and then that will cost you. You didn't think that is quite extreme, or what is your opinion?
Could be. I think maybe in my case is really complicated. It's
Mm-hmm.
really hard, and we are talking, for example, we are talking about something that is famous, and the case is really a big deal, and we have
Mm-hmm.
to, I don't know, we have to take care with a lot of things, with a lot of details. So I think could be with minutes because well, every single part is a key for resolving in a good way the case. But in a simple case, I think it is not. It is not just like that. Maybe could make an well starting at the start make
Mm-hmm.
a kind of aclaración. I don't know how to say that.
¿Qué quieres decir antes y después?
No, o sea, hacer una aclaración antes.
We need, ¿antes de qué?
Bueno, antes de firmar el contrato o antes de llevar el caso.
Okay, we need to make it clear before sign the contract or
Exactly.
take the case. Make it clear.
Exactly. For make some a kind of education lesson to our clients, so when they can call, when they can't call. So I think it's
Okay,
important.
yeah, that is great.
Maybe it could be
Tell,
an emergency when they have something really important to tell me, and we can make some kinds of that. But I think it is not just like a minute. It could be a little bit expensive for someone that don't have enough money, I think.
yeah. And what other part you found interesting in this contract?
Mm, I am not pretty sure. Hmm. I think
Well, maybe do you have some question and I can help you to answer it? Maybe one part you found it a lot of, I don't know, so complicated, or you didn't find easier to understand. Maybe I can help you with something.
well, something interesting was number 7, I think, where they say that it's possible that that they are going to change the person who is taking their case. So I think it could be a little bit complicated, especially how could I explain that? Because maybe the cases have a long story. So
Mm-hmm.
to read and restudy all those things could be a little bit complicated. It don't well, most of times it is not good for the case because we need something who is day a day taking care of the case because we know we are going to fight with another person, so they have movements, so we have to notice all those movements. So when we are changing the person, we are going to regret to understand from the beginning, because if we are forgiving some detail, it is going to be worst. So I think it's well, we have to don't do that, but if it's necessary, I think could be a little bit frustrating for the uh,
Right.
for for the client, exactly, because I have to treat
Okay.
another person and explain him some other things that maybe that the first lawyer already knew. So in that case,
Okay.
it's kind of interesting because, well, they are an enterprise of lawyers, so they are an office of lawyers. So I think that could happen, and well, for working as a person, as an independent lawyer, could not happen all the time.
Yes. Okay, that enterprise will be better in the context that you use it. Will be better that you said the law firm.
Okay.
Okay. And other thing that I need that you do for tomorrow, okay, all of you, tomorrow before the start of lesson, we will have a little discuss. We will make like a no debate, but we want to listen all the opinion, especially in some point of these contracts. One of them is about the confidential stuff, because they say that you can, that will be like the agreement that they will try to find to check if you are not having things against the law, like money laundering and etc. But also at the end of the contract, middle end, they say something like, but if you are our client and we figure out that you're having troubles with crimes or with money laundering or whatever, we will advise to the justice. We will not call the police, but we will make that all the system know it, because it's our responsibility, like our legal responsibility. So I want that we discuss that tomorrow night, because for me, I have my doubts about it. Now it's my client. I can't do that. We have a professional secret, but also I have one social responsibility. So I want that these kind of things we can discuss it. And then if you find something relevant, that it's important to talk about it, because the idea of tomorrow is that we can talk.
Okay, teacher.
Together.
In Bolivia, we have a ethic code. I don't know how to say completely in English.
Yeah,
but,
ethical code.
Exactly. So there we have some articles when we can find how we have to make our, what is going to be the procedure when we are going to finish our relation with a client, and how important is a secret, a professional secret, isn't it?
Yes,
So I
perfect.
think it's really important, because sometimes we're going to act with something which is illegal, or who is going to be something that is not in order to the law. So I think it could be really important.
Yeah, but also would be important that you can start to connect between them, between all of you, because now you're having like always conversation for me and it's having fun. But now I want that you start to having conversations between you, and then you can take advantage of other nationalities and other accents, and how we can like do a collective knowledge.
Okay.
So I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. And before you leave, I would please ask you that you fill the survey.
I already do it, teacher.
Okay, thank you so much for your time, and see you tomorrow.
See you, teacher. Goodbye.
Yes, bye-bye. Good night. Rafael, good night. How are you?
Good night, teacher. I'm fine.
How was your day?
It was easy. Yeah.
Yes? Do you have time to read the contract? Maybe one
Yeah,
part?
but I don't have so many time. I read 5 pages, I think.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. And in that 5 pages, what did you find? Like, what was the most important part for you? Or the
I
part
don't
that
know,
called your
maybe
attention?
where we are talking about the way we are, the way the user could pay to the lawyers.
Mm-hmm. Why?
I don't know. It's what I must remember.
Why do you think that is important?
Because we need to be we need a clear a clear um, a clear contract in to don't pay a plus or minus
Yes, or less? Plus
or
or
less.
less?
Yeah, we need to
Mm-hmm.
be plus or yeah. We need
Okay.
to know what we are talking in this case.
Okay. Do you think that is quite crazy that one lawyer want to make that the client pay them by minutes, like calculating the minutes of the lawyer, like the time worked
I
in
don't know.
minutes?
I think
You
it,
don't think that is quite, I don't know, out
I
of the
think it could be
context?
difficult for the lawyer. I
Why?
don't know, calculate all these little acts that he did and have proof of this in order to be clear with that with the client.
Tell me the last part. I am trying
Uh,
to have it here. That can be difficult for the lawyer to take notes about the minutes that they spent. But then you say something and I can listen.
have proofs of that because obviously the lawyer needs to be this um, clearly for the client
Yeah, that is a really good point. We will discuss that tomorrow. I am taking notes. Yeah, that is a really, it's the first one. Just for that point of view, I will put you 10 in the lesson of today, 10 over 10. Because it's something so important that I can't catch it. I didn't catch it when I was reading. It was like, okay, it's quite exaggerated, but okay. But also, if we have a discuss with the client, I need to take time for prove it. So it's better if maybe I don't charge that to the client and I don't spend it. Okay, that is a really good point. Then tell me what fine in the contract, in that pages that you read, what you are not agree with.
Give me a second. I don't remember so well. Oh, I don't know. Maybe that you like a user don't have control with the lawyer that you are working, because if they couldn't work someday, you just need to accept other lawyer that maybe don't know a lot of your case, even if he received all the notes and documents. And there are a lot of things that could pass away, and that could be a problem.
Yeah, sure. What about, like reading this contract, now you can advise, you can check the difference between an engagement letter and a client care contract?
I don't understand it so well that.
Es como que el engagement letter es como un contrato de prestación de servicios y esta parte como de client care es más como un servicio al cliente. Yo lo veo así, como la manera en la que yo lo separo. Que se relacionan, sí, pero en el primero, en el tema de client care, es más como cómo yo voy a proteger y cómo voy a darle todas las garantías a mi cliente. Y en el tema del engagement es ya más como el contrato de negocio. Bueno, hermano, yo lo voy a llevar este proceso y le vale tanto y me paga en tal fecha y tal otra. Es como el contrato de prestación de servicios, ¿verdad? So, you didn't think, or what is your opinion? Do you think that it is necessary have two contracts, or do you think that maybe you can mix them?
I think it's be better if there are mixed.
Yes, why?
I don't know. It could be more easy to understand. That's the reason.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if you have, I don't know, engagement for a specific case and a care, I don't remember the name of the other document.
The names are engagement letter and client care,
Client. Sorry.
client care, contract.
Sí.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe if the engagement contract is for a specific case, but the client care is like a contract in general to care the matters of the user.
Yeah.
It could be separated, but in other situation, I think it's better have just one document.
Yeah, sure. Because maybe it's more easy. I just want to know your opinion. And for like ask you also if maybe to find one part that is really complex or complicated or you didn't understand it, you can do like questions and I am open to answer it. Maybe you can understand a part or you have doubts.
Yeah, LLC.
Yes, okay. This is like a commercial form that we use it. In Colombia, for example, the name is so different. We call it SAS, that is like Sociedad de Acciones Simplificadas. Es la manera en la que comercialmente se limita la responsabilidad de una compañía. Es como un modelo societario. This
Maybe it's
LLC.
like Sociedad de Responsabilidad Limitada in Bolivia.
Exacto. It's the same.
Sure.
But in English, we found it like LLC. Yeah.
Okay.
Now it's like clear. Because
So,
I don't know, maybe I take notes. It's like limited liability partnership. This is important when in a society because I don't know if you check in the contract, like in the second page, I guess, they say something like the memberships of this business are Pepito, Merenganito, blah, blah, blah. Then you got like all the information there. But then when you find like this clause that is like the LLP, is showing you that the responsibility is limited. And of course that you can, if something's go wrong, you cannot apply to the money to the members or the partners in this business. In Colombia, that name or that model is called, as I told you, but we are talking about the same. But in English, now we know that is LLP. Okay?
okay, so this is like a lawyer's bar or it is different? I think the lawyer's bar is more public institution or maybe I'm wrong.
They are not a bar. They are a law firm that is like focused in financial stuff and they are like solicitors. They are like more focusing in consulting, like to advise a huge company, but especially with business, like with financial and investments. But also they take more about family and some other concerns, but not in everything. We have the concept in Latin America that a law firm includes the most of the times like a general concept, like all the areas of law. But in other countries, you can, and even in Bolivia or Colombia, you can find some specialized law firms in some specific topics. This one is the example of one specialized in UK and is one of the biggest about the businesses that they take. Okay. So for tomorrow, please, I will ask you, and now that both are listening, like Karen and Rafael, tomorrow night we will discuss by the beginning of the lesson, we will discuss a little bit some controversial parts of the contract and maybe some parts that we cannot be in agreement because I think different, right? For example, about the confidential, about the way that I can charge my time to the client. And the idea is that the first time we can do like a plural conversation or a groupal conversation for a while, and that we can like know each other and share a little bit about this. That is just client proceedings. After that, we will have a lesson normally.
Okay.
So please, I will ask you that you check a little bit of the contract and you try to find what are you really agree with and what you don't.
Okay,
Okay?
that sounds good.
Thank you so much for your time. And before you leave, I will ask you that you fill the survey.
Yeah, I feel.
Okay, thank you. I will see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye. Karen, thank you so much. You saved my life tonight. We had troubles with connections and like my computer was disconnected and I was like, oh no, I am late. Sorry, God.
No, it's a pleasure. I know. Actually, I having internet problems for many weeks ago, but even when you told me that if I could enter in 10 minutes later than the first one I entered to the class, I just copied the part that in a few minutes. So I got the general idea, but I didn't listen the first part, but I understand.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, now I am in time and my anxious mind is relaxed because with all the all the people that I have a call today, I was always worried that I was late and I don't like it. It's like no. So now my mind have peace. My mind has peace. Okay.
If one day you need to change again the time, I have no problems. When if you change my turn, if it's later than country, I have no problem to be moved
Flexible.
in the schedule. So you
Hi, thank you. No worries. I guess I want to know,
just to
I want to
let you know.
believe that it was just an exception. Okay.
If one day you
See. I got it. Hopefully, don't happen again.
like from in your country, I have no problem to
Are you listen?
I I listen, but with chord parts, I think.
Now, maybe better. I am moving my computer. I will turn on because I guess that our connection is always bad because the combination of our internets. Now, maybe better. Are you listen?
Yeah.
Better? Okay. So, Karen, tell me, do you have time to read the contract? Maybe just
Yeah,
one part?
I tried to read everything, but I just missed the two final pages. but
Yeah,
but
no
the
worries.
I reached to read the rest.
Okay. What is your opinion? What part do you find more interesting or more relevant, or what part makes you think about it?
I found interesting the part of copyright, but I didn't realize that we, as consultants or lawyers, we have rights um, under all our papers that we prepared. So that
Yeah, like
was
the concept.
exactly. So I found that very important to keep everything in order, because I don't have, if I am a barrister and I give to a client my work, and this is a guarantee that they don't use that in another way different, or for how I can explain that, or benefit other persons different of the contract relationship. So I think that this is the first part that I found realistic and very important in the contract. I'm in in order to be an correct I how can I explain that? In order to have a correct application of the contract, I found the part of the how you could my client could be paid the services. For example, in cash or with credit card on an account. That it's very important. Actually, for tax issues, because that determines how I can register all the incomes and 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 pay my taxes to the government. And I remember that I saw other part. The other parts that I think are very important are the mechanisms to fix complaints and problems, and the way to claim for any problem, because that marks the field uh, when for the client when it kind of issues happen during the relationship, professional relationship. So it's very important. And the other and another part is to fact about the way to doing communications and send warnings or something um, related, because that it's like, I don't know, in Spanish is medio de notificación. I don't know it is the
Yeah,
I don't know
like
it is mean of
notifications way.
notification.
Yeah,
Exactly.
notifications. Yeah.
That's very important, because if someone requires my services, I need a way or many ways to contact him to prepare the case, or to inform how is everything going. So I think it's very important. And I don't know. I don't remember.
Apart,
I remember that I light with I mark other part, but
I want that you tell me what part are you not agree with.
um okay. Uh I don't know. Actually, I didn't. I know that this is an contract to adhesion contract. I don't know that it's everything prepared
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
you
It's
must
perfect.
to
Adhesion contract. Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
to sign
You can change.
exactly. So
Another way
I
that you can
noticed
say,
that.
other way
Mhm.
that you can say is an unilateral contract.
Unilateral contract.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I noticed that it's an unilateral contract,
Yeah.
but I was very surprised that it's not so that they are not doing a lot of clauses that are or take
Ambiguous.
advantage ambiguous, or take advantage to his clients, because in fact they protect his data, their data in collected in bases. So that was for me very revealing, very I don't know how to, not amazing, but it was surprising that they take that kind of concessions to the clients because sometimes these kind of contracts are very um, unadvantages or have disadvantages to the clients. So at the end, I when in everything that I reached to read, I don't found some clauses that I thought were or make me to be against to firm or sign the contract. So
Okay.
but I don't know if in the final pages that I don't reach to read, maybe there's something that I couldn't found um, bad or not convenient for me if I were a client. So mhm.
What do you think about the charges? Do you agree with the way that they calculate them? Like, okay, if I answer an email, that will take me, the average will be 6 minutes. Do you agree with that?
Okay, I have controversial feelings about that because in Latin America it's very common that people subestimate work from others. So underestimate, I think, underestimate
Yo sí re.
the work
Sorry.
of professional. Exactly. So I think that it's fine if you could church everything that it will be in the side of the professional part. It will be amazing to be able to charge everything that you do, even if it's email or send an email, because at the end this is time from your work. So I think that it's fine. But if I were a client, obviously I don't be in um, ag- mm, agree with that kind of method to charge a cost and work, especially by hours
Yeah.
for that kind of, because that means that I would have to pay more. But thinking just like professional, I think that it's the best way, because at the end that um, give value to our work, to your work. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Perfect. Let me know if you didn't believe that I guess that yes. Do you read that part of money laundry?
I don't reach to read about it, but I think that it's similar because this comes from an international treaty to avoid this kind of means to laundry money from
Yeah.
criminal stuffs. So I think that in order to avoid or prevent that kind of criminal activities, um, works the pay in accounts or by credit card, because or by card, because that allows to the government and the company to um how I can to locate or to how do you say rastrear,
To check, to
check
overseas. Oversee,
over
to vigilar, vigilar.
okay,
To
oh,
overseas.
to overseas the origin of the payment. So I think that it's common, and it's very usual that in everything contract that involves a lot of involves important quantities of money, to pact this kind of clauses to overseas where it's come from the money and everything payment, to avoid that kind of criminal um, activities.
Okay, perfect. Our time is over. Thank you so much for sharing your opinion. The idea is that tomorrow night we can discuss a little bit more about it. I please ask you that you fill the survey, and after that, are you completely free? I will see you tomorrow night.
Okay, I already feel it, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Just
Thank you so much.
a question:
Tell me.
the activity, the tomorrow's activity is discussed about this kind of contract, or
About this kind
I
of
don't.
contracts. Yes.
Okay.
And about some clauses, the idea is that we can listen who are agree with and who don't, but actually that you can listen other voice that don't be mine, that you can share opinions, and that you can know each other a little bit, because from now we will start some debates and like
Mm-hmm.
grupal it's not interviews, like a grupal meeting or
Mm-hmm.
chats that we
Mm-hmm.
can know each other, because I know all of you, but it's important that you also create some connections. That is so valuable.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
And thank you so much to you. See you.
Bye.
Rest. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Gabriela. Nah, you're welcome. Gabriela, hello, good night.
Hi. Sorry.
How are you?
Fine.
How was your day working? Busy woman.
Yeah. So I have 4 audiencias.
Trials. Trials.
Trials. Yes, 4.
Mm-hmm.
4
Oh my
trials.
gosh. Are you tired?
Yes, I get up 6 o'clock.
Oh my God.
I stay
Sorry.
here in front of computer since 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, you need to put tears on your eyes. Like, these artificial tears that will help you with the
Yeah,
pain.
I only changed my seat,
Oh,
my bedroom, my living room.
no, I'm sorry. Okay. But do you have time to read the contract, or maybe
Yes.
read one part?
Yes, I read.
Okay.
Uh, I,
What
I, would-
part?
I would like this company is very focused on the safety of the customer and obviously in the own company. Specify uh, many points of information, private information of the customers, responsibilities of company, responsibility of the customers, all of this, I think.
Okay. Do you think that these kind of contracts are important before start a new process with a client or start a new business?
Yes, because I don't know sure in other countries, but here in Peru, when you have a contract, for example, with your mobile, with the mobile,
Mhm.
they have your number, and of this give you number at different banks, at different companies, and this is provide.
Yeah, it's like a databases.
Yeah, so
Okay.
if in obviously in all the banks or company previously you have to um, firm
Signed.
sign
Signed.
a contract,
Mm-hmm.
and so it don't have the exactly part to say
The clause.
the
La
clause.
cláusula. The clause.
We have a exactly part to say this contract is only the information here is only between the company and the customer, because in a moment this information to pass to another company, for example, call to different um, malls, and I like this specified to all the costs. All the costs say the information is private.
Okay. What part you are not agree with?
No, exactly. But I don't agree because I like the contract is very specific.
It's
All
a good structure.
I
And
the structure.
Gabriela, are you agree with the way that they calculate the charges? Like, if I need to answer this email, the average will be 6 minutes, and I will make that the client pay for that time. Are you agree with that?
I don't understand too much.
Like, did you find the part of in the contract that they say that the client need to pay for all the time of the lawyer, right? Like, if the lawyer answer an email, that the client pays. If the lawyer
Ah,
answer a call, the clients pay.
yes.
Pay.
Avoid to all the expense if necessary.
Mhm.
Well, it's correct that the client it's necessary to pay the service, but um, only the a part of the call I think is not necessary between all of that is a benefit of the part. So uh, I think um, ridiculous ridiculous expenses
Mhm.
for a call, all of that. For example, if he has a meeting, maybe the lawyers would like to pay the gasoline,
The gas. The
the gas.
gas. Mhm. Or
Uh,
oil.
happen happen in my case happen because one situation, um, when I was work, the client said it's necessary to pay the gas. The lawyer the works is say why you pay the gas, because say that in the past the lawyer is said you need to pay
Expenses.
all my expensive, yes.
Okay, we will discuss that tomorrow night. Do you listen what we will do tomorrow, or do you want that I explain you?
For tomorrow, you say to Karen the contracts, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, the idea is that tomorrow we discuss a little bit about these clauses, and we can do like a little of debate, and you can like talk with all your colleagues in order to listen each other, and maybe, okay, I'm agree with that, with the client has to pay the gas, and maybe other one says, oh no, I'm not agree because that
Is
is
it
part, quite
interactive
a debate. Yeah, it's like a group. The idea is that we can share a little bit of all the opinions,
share?
and then, yeah,
Ideas.
share ideas. Perfect. Let me know if you find, do you read the part of money laundry?
Money what?
Laundry, como lavado de dinero, como lavandería se escribe así para que lo coloques ahí en tu buscador. Laundry.
I read so fast. Mm, no, no, I
Déjame ver si yo
don't.
pongo acá. Tal vez está escrito mal. Money.
No, I find,
¿Será que me equivoqué yo? Money. Laundry. Es que lo están utilizando conjugado, con gerundio.
yes,
Laundering.
laundering, yeah.
¿Sabes lo que es?
Yes, I have a course in a university.
Okay, do you read that in one part of the contract, and they say that if the law firm finds that the lawyer, if the lawyer firm finds, if the law firm, sorry, I'm not connecting the words. If the law firm finds that the client is doing so many laundry, they will tell to the authorities, right? Did you read
Yes.
that part?
No, if this is correct, absolutely not. But I don't understand that the company say to the government about that.
Mhm.
Uh,
Do you think that is correct that the lawyer tell that to the government?
I think it's a professional secret between lawyer and client.
Mhm.
Um, it's correct to say it, but it's not correct in the way it's necessary to, because a client trust on you because you are a lawyer. You don't say anything, but it's wrong. Her his action, but is the how to say prevalece. Will prevail the sacred professional about for me.
Okay. For you, that is your opinion.
Yeah, my opinion.
Okay. And what about what other more thing I saw? What about the thing that you make the contract with the law firm, but maybe the lawyer can change. Maybe you have the knowledge of my process, and then maybe if you go, other lawyer will come and will be the head of my process. What is your opinion about that?
He changed the clauses.
No, not the clauses. It's like what happened when you, like a lot of people have knowledge about your process, and then maybe you believe that one is the lawyer and then the things change. Do you think that that is great or not?
Not because if I talk with person in general, if I have a agreement with them, I no would like to change that ideas.
Ujú. Pero, o sea, si me estás, ¿qué te estoy preguntando en español?
Como
Cuéntame, porque
que
creo que no es confuso, creo que es confuso.
como que si estoy de acuerdo que el abogado cambie, o sea, si alguien tiene conocimiento
Ujú.
de lo que hay en el proceso y que el abogado cambie alguna como que cláusula, algo así.
No, casi. Si yo firmo un contrato con la firma de abogados y resulta que mi medicina, que tú vas a ser la abogada va a ser Gabriela, y cambian el abogado, ¿tú crees que eso está bien o está mal? O sea, Gabriela se tiene que ir de vacaciones, entonces van a dejar a Gali de abogada. ¿Tú crees que eso está bien?
It's okay for me if if another lawyer knows in the same way in the process.
Yeah.
Because in every process it's necessary the lawyer study all the actions, everything. So for me it is a, if can imagine an emergency, if another lawyer knows all the actions, he study all the process, because I know many people change change his lawyer because they don't have the result they want. So I think if you have the goals to that, you can change the lawyer, obviously if he knows all the process.
Okay, perfect. It's good to know like your opinion. Now, do you know the difference between one client care contract and one engagement letter?
No.
Okay. The engagement letter is more known, or the best translation is like prestación de servicios profesionales. Es como el negocio, hablar de plata con tu cliente. Y luego, este tema de client care es más como protección al consumidor, al usuario, al cliente.
I
Entonces,
know, but in Spanish.
yeah, but it's also like all the clauses that you need for protect your client about one abuse for the law firm. But it's also work in all the in different areas of society, right? Of health, of businesses, banks, etc. Like this client care is more general, but then the engagement letter have has more established all the obligations that um, as a business we have, like the money, because you know that here you cannot find like the average. Tú no puedes encontrar el promedio de pago o cuánto tienen que pagar. En cambio, en el contrato de prestación de servicios sí se establece eso.
Yes.
Yes, perfect. Okay, so thank you so much for your time. Before you leave, I will please ask you that you fill the survey. I'm getting there.
Yeah, well, I enter, always appear that, sorry.
Okay. I will please ask you that you read the contract or check what part of the contract is important for have like a little debate. And
For
then we
tomorrow.
will talk about that for tomorrow night with all your colleagues. So thank you so much for your time. I will see you tomorrow in the lesson and have a good night.
Bye, good night.
Bye. Thank you.